All right, everybody jamming? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Captive Desk. I was looking at my analytics, and I've got over 5,000 views, and I was just like, wow, that's just really cool. I mean, you know, especially for us that just have a small channel, you know, and it's like just really appreciated that, you know, so many people would just watch your stuff. It's humbling, and it's just really great. So I just want to come on and thank everybody that's watched my videos. I appreciate it. I want to thank everybody that's been a guest on my channel. I appreciate it. And a special shout out to Trees, Look at the Trees, who's my co-host on the Grassman Chronicles. We have a lot of fun. We talk back and forth preparing for the show and everything, and it's been really great getting to know him better and everything, and I like calling him friend, and we have a lot of fun with that. I hope everybody's been enjoying that. We try to have some fun with that show, and I just wanted to kick things off before I bring people on. I see Andrew there. I'll pop you on in a second with one of my favorite videos. This really touched my heart from Deconverted Man. You know, he just out of the blue made this video, and is, you know, still when I didn't have that many videos up or anything, and it was just really neat that somebody just came across, and you know, kind of was my first review video, whatever. So I thought I'd play it real quick. It's only a couple minutes to kick things off, and we'll have a little laugh. All right.
Deconverted Man here. Who or what is Captive Desk? Now, I've been looking at this channel for quite some time, and I've done some deep diving into the About section, which just says discussions with the skeptic. That doesn't really tell me anything. I mean, there's no links to a lobsterist to read or anything. So how am I supposed to know what he thinks? His channels doesn't even feature any other channels. Community tab? Questions atheists cannot answer? I don't know about that, Captive Desk. I think that there are questions that can't be answered by anybody, not just atheists. But what are you trying to tell us? Playlist? There's only 11 videos on my videos playlist. Wait a minute. What about live? There's a lot of live videos. What about video videos? There's more of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 real videos. But wait, those are recently updated or popular. Which ones? I don't know. What about the homepage? Does that say anything? No, it doesn't. It doesn't tell me anything. So I don't know, man. Okay, I gotta go to deep mode. Okay, what is a captive? Somebody you hold against their will. And what's a desk? Something you write on. But what? How is a raven like a writing desk? You can't answer that if you're captive because you can't write, which is ironic since you're a desk and the desk is meant to be written on, so you're unable to write. That's what it's about. Yes, yes. Wait, no. CD, change drives, or CD like compact disc. It could be either of those. But those don't help you if you're trying to write because you're a desk. But if you're a desk, you're not alive because you're an inanimate object. Inanimate objects cannot be captive. They cannot be anything because they're just inanimate. They don't care if they are captive or not captive of the. So what is captive death? I don't know. Maybe if you like scramble his letters around, like KED, kid. Yes. Wait, I'm onto something. PV. No, that doesn't spell anything. PAC is pack. No, that PAT. Pat. Yes, Pat. Wait. I think I'm on something. Pat. Yes. Pat. Pat. Uh. Put it. Wait. Okay. Wait. I'll take a screenshot. I know. I'll go to MS Paint. It's the only way to be sure that I've got this. I think I've cracked the code. Oh man, I almost figured out what Captain Desk is. Oh, the time is running out. I didn't even know there was a time limit. Ah, man. Okay, Captain Desk. Okay. So we know that we have to switch around the letters. Like we go C. Wait a minute. That's not really even a C. No, wait. Yeah. Oh, no, it's an umbrella. No, like it's a rainbow. No, wait. It's the omega symbol. Yes, the omega symbol. And then like P, like pi. See? Yes, pi. So the mega symbol to the power of pi. And of course, we know the letter A is the first letter, so that actually goes over here. So it's actually, let's make that opaque. Okay, so start omega pi. Yes. All right. We've almost cracked the code, my friends. We're almost there. Okay. E. E and I, we don't need those because you don't need those. Okay, so V, TV. Does a desk watch TV? Television, like keeps you captive. Yes, we're all captive because the watchful eye of the government is watching over us. The government has a desk. The president has a desk. The president's desk. Okay, so we have to make that really big because the president's desk is really big, and that's how that connects together with the omega code into the pi in the world. Yes, I have it. I think I've got it. Oh wait. If you take K and you put it there in the rainbow inside of omega, then you get, let's see, 17. No wait, it's 4, and then you add in S plus, no, it's okay, wait, it's oh wait, wait, E, of course, E, like E equals MC squared. ES, what ES is of the, wait a minute, of course, he's so brilliant, it's actually backwards. That's not an E. That's another omega symbol. He was hiding it in plain sight. Captain Death. I've got you now. Hold on, I got a door. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. Yeah. What? What? What do you want? You can't come in without a warrant. No! away from my desk! You can't! No! Get away! Get away! You can't! No! Don't! What are you doing? Don't turn that off! No! The world has to know! No! Deconverted.
Hope everybody enjoyed that. And welcome Andrew and Mark.
Hey.
And Nitty. Hello again, everybody. Hi guys.
Hey.
Hello.
And again, I wanna thank Deconverted Man. He's helped me with a lot of stuff. I really appreciate it. He reached out to me. Always been good by me. We've done some videos together, and he even put me in one of his videos, and I played God. So I was honored that he sent me a script to play God. I mean, I'm up there with Morgan.
You have the voice for it, Dave. You've got the voice for it, mate. Yeah,
Thank you.
Absolutely. I can see that. Yeah.
I'm up there with Morgan Freeman and Whoopi Goldberg and all the greats, Charlton Heston, everybody. So
who else has played God? Who played God in Dogma? It was a singer. Alanis Morissette. Alanis Morissette.
Alanis, yeah. George Burns played God in a couple movies.
Cool.
Who else? It's good trivia. Who else played God? Somebody in the chat? Andrew, always a pleasure. Good to see you.
Hey, for having me on. Good to see you all.
Hey, Andrew.
How are things on the West Coast?
Hot, dry, mostly. That's pretty much it.
Hello, Stephanie.
Hey, Steph.
Hi. Hey there. Over here, it's cool and wet. So
good sailing weather.
Couldn't be more opposite, really.
How about you, Mark? How's your weather?
It's not bad. It's just cold at the moment. It's in the middle of winter, so yeah. Just a little cold. That's okay.
Nitty, I know, is not far from me, so we probably got about the same weather. You have a nice day today, Nitty?
Yeah, for the most part. I got to do a lot of biking today. And this evening, dare I say, I hate camping, but this is the kind of evening that I would actually camp. So
nice campfire.
I'm just a primp city boy, so I just,
why don't you go glamping? Glamping is amazing.
If I had the money, yes.
You'll have to. What is glamping? I'm unfamiliar.
Well, it's glamorous camping. It's when you sort of have all the amenities and stuff. You're not really camping. You're more.
There's champagne and
a toilet, an actual toilet instead of leaves. Though I have pooped in the forest before, so.
It's the age-old conundrum. If you go to a hotel that looks exactly like your house, why leave your house?
I did a cold shower camping one time. They had shower facilities, but with all the people, it was first come, first serve. And by the time we got there, everybody was come out saying there's only cold water. But when you've been, the smoke and the dirt and and sleeping in the tent, and it's like, we're gonna do it. So we did it. Yeah, you do what you got to do.
Those trifoliate plants with the really shiny bright green leaves, you might not want to use those.
Don't use those. I never had it in all my life. And
my sister used to get it by looking at it. She was horrifically.
A couple years ago, I was trimming, and there was some. You get those wild grapevines that grow those weed things and everything, and I was just trimming some stuff. Well, I guess one of them was poison ivy, and I cut right through it, and it burned lines. I still have some scars on my forearms. The juice came right out of that stem, and wow, that's a whole other story. It's wicked.
Blame all the insects.
We crawled through the woods as kids. We played in the fields and by the creek and everything. I never had a problem. And then a couple of years ago, I got it, and I got it good. You don't have it out there in California, right?
I don't think so. No. I think
You know how I know that?
East.
That's a Columbo episode.
Really?
Yep, that's how he caught him, because the scientist was working with poison ivy for the makeup company, and he got poison ivy at the scene, and so did the killer. And he was saying, I was talking to my nephew. He's always got a nephew, I was talking to my nephew. He said, we don't have poison ivy around California. Only in certain fringe areas is all.
Do you remember the song Poison Ivy? Years and years ago, late 50s, early 60s song?
Not off the top of my head. It might
You're
be
gonna need an ocean of calamine lotion, or you'll be scratching like a hound the minute you start to mess around. Poison ivy, poison ivy. Well, late at night when you're sleeping, poison ivy comes a creeping all around. Ow, 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 ow. The Rolling Stones covered it, and Rolling Stones covered it. I forget who the original artist was, but
that's a great song. Definitely.
The Coasters.
The Coasters. You're right. It was a coaster. It was the Coasters.
I have lightning Google fingers.
I went through a lot of calamine.
Hey, since we're on the subject of deadly, or I guess annoyingly
irritating things.
Irritating animals and plants. Mark, I know you live in Australia. I don't know what part. Are you close enough to the ocean that you've ever encountered some of the infamous venomous animals out there? Or ever?
Oh yeah. Okay. I mean, I used to sort of, at one point I was kind of like, oh, it's not that bad. But seriously, there is like, I'll see if I can find the shot. Like, we have stingers, right, which are just jellyfish.
Yeah, box jellyfish.
Well, we don't get them down where we are because it's too far south. But stingers, there's tons of different jellyfish, and some will just give you a rash. Some will just, annoy the crap out of you. Usually, it's really funny because we always usually have vinegar or some kind of calamine at when you do surf lifesaving, but people like take vinegar to the beach, so you can just use the acid to like take off the stinger kind of thing.
Yeah.
But once I was doing a swim, a race basically, for surf lifesavers, and a jellyfish went down my Speedos.
Oh.
And
whoops.
I was like a torpedo through the water. I've never swum so fast in my life, and yeah, that was fucked. That was terrible.
Not bad for an organism that's 95% water. Hey.
Yeah. How many? I don't have any brains or anything like that.
How many species? How many species are there, Andrew?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head. I was just curious because I don't know. I'm deeply fascinated by the boxed jellyfish in particular, which, by the way, isn't a true jellyfish, so to speak. It's not in the same class of cnidarians. But fun fact: if you get enough tentacle from a box jellyfish on you with all the stingers and whatnot, because they can grow up to I think around 3 meters long for the largest individuals. But if you get enough stingers on you, there are reports of people dying within a few minutes. So their venom's that potent. So you don't have any near you, Mark, is why I was asking.
No, it's too cold. They stick to warmer waters. So north of my state, they are around, but not. But Perth, the capital city, is luckily pretty far south.
Like to hang out near the mangroves usually.
Yep. The worst one is the blue ringed octopus. That's like you see pictures of people picking them up and they go, "Oh, how cute is it?" And they're poking it. Like it's
why
that
would you
thing.
pick it up?
I've seen that before. Yeah.
If one of those bites you don't make it to the phone to call somebody. Like seriously, they are that lethal. They are insanely lethal. Anything with bright colors on it, just stay away from it. Like the bright colors are there to tell you that it doesn't need to hide.
Right.
Well, Nitty and I are inland. We don't have too many worries, do we, Nitty?
Nope.
That's every time I think about moving somewhere, I always think, but I don't have a lot of issues around here. I don't have a lot of things trying to bite me or eat me, or the ground isn't moving like over there under Anders' feet.
The water isn't coming
too much.
You're lacking a sense of adventure.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm spoiled in the city, I guess, too.
I mean, people have different senses of adventure with different things, I guess.
I have experienced a few tremors. I was in California a few times, and I did not like that at all. Not one bit. That is, it's terrifying. I mean, to think that, in just an instant, everything can just go really bad, really fast.
Yeah.
Well, the lobster isn't a particularly ferocious beast. It's rather sea bug, really. It's nothing more than a sea bug.
They swim backwards, I think, with their tail.
You're gonna summon Deconverted Man. He's all about the lobster.
I will admit that.
Is he another Maina?
He wasn't too amused when I was talking about garlic and butter.
Awesome.
Aren't lobsters immortal?
Well, and by the way, he was joking in the chat. He had a stream going the other day, and he said, and somebody out there needs to buy my book. I guess he was pushing his book sales. He's got a couple books on Amazon. And hey, Captive Desk, you can buy my book and do a review. So I sent him an email. I said, I ordered your book. I'll get a hold of you when I'm done reading it. So I'm gonna read his book and do a review. He's got it's a deconversion book. So
kind of tie the camping stuff to what we were just talking about, because I did want to make a deeper point, which is we like to think we're separate, we're apart from nature in both space and time, and I guess for some people genetics, but turns out we're not. So that's one way of demonstrating that.
And what's new over there in Nitty Land? Were you jamming on? Are you still jamming on Friday nights?
No, I've been busy with other stuff like vacation and family trips, and I was like just randomly sad for a couple weeks, so I just kind of did my own thing.
That's okay.
Yeah, but I'm working on a standing setup. I just got back from doing a bike ride, and I hadn't set that back up. So my wife asked me to take it down because my kids just need room to play, and I completely agree. So I'm working on a more sustainable standing solution because I really liked live streaming standing up, and I think my viewers liked it more. So I'm very much a performative person, especially in groups or like I want to be more performative.
I saw you moving and grooving. You're into it, having fun. That's great. I love music.
Yeah, so I think that's the presence I want to cultivate with my channel more so. And I could do like just random visual gags that way too. And I can't really do that when I'm just kind of locked in this fucking chair. And it makes it feel a little bit less like I'm in a dungeon all day. Because
what personality type are you? Do you know your personality type? Like you might
with one of those like tests or whatever.
Yeah.
It's been forever.
Okay.
It's been forever since I've taken it. But yeah.
I'm pretty sure mine is BA. I got a bad attitude.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm trying to work out in my head what a more sustainable, less kid volatile standing solution will be if I have to like set up different desks or something, right? I'll figure it out.
my
Are
grade
you
cards.
captive to one desk or another, Nitty?
I mean, I can rearrange this side of the basement as much
Never
as I
be
want,
captive
so.
to just one desk.
It's true. It's true. I've rearranged it like 3 times since I've started my channel. Once where I was like back in a corner with a bunch of posters around me. Once where I was on the other side near my washing machines, but there was a lot more white noise for whatever reason because there's less ceiling and stuff. That's when I first started my channel, and I'm like, oh, this won't do. So fuck this. So I crammed myself into how my basement used to be set up, and then I moved some stuff around. I moved even more stuff around. I put my like building Lego pieces over on the other side of the basement because the kids aren't really building like on their own right now. They just play with the stuff that I built. So now there's going to be more space again for us to negotiate around. Like I'm not as stuck trying to figure out like where do I put this table so that all these fucking storage bins can like be, they could just be right now. They don't have to be there. So I have more like floor space. It doesn't matter where the tables really go as much. So I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'm trying to say. It might take a week or two.
You got to make compromises. I would have had a bigger fish pond, but the dogs have to have some room. So
yeah,
you know, the
I've been
dogs
trying
have
to
part of the yard. You know,
I've been trying to find like on Facebook Marketplace or garage sales, like something like on wheels, like some kind of like small table or like working table, like that's on wheels, so I can just roll it the fuck around. It's like, oh, it's time to live stream, and I get it from the other side of the basement. I just roll it over, put my camera and my laptop stand on there, boom, ready to roll, and then I'm done live streaming, is roll it back over there, forget about it until it's time for another show, right?
And I want to say hi to everybody that's over in the chat, Carrie and AR, and let's see. Who else? There were none, and love everybody.
I saw Gurr in there at one point.
Gurr, hey Gurr.
Gurr. And a big congratulations to Dave. Like the reason why we're here, no one has congratulated Dave yet. And I think that's
nobody's gave me any praise.
yeah. Congratulations, 5,000
praise
views
be to you,
a
Dave.
milestone, definitely. So we're here to celebrate every milestone, and yeah, I had to come in. I was forced to because I did see your email. So thanks for sending it over, Dave. I really appreciate it.
I tried to let everybody know and invite everybody I could that I could have contacts for and everything because I appreciate everybody. And Andrew, appreciate you coming on and helping me out. And Mark was a great guest. I appreciate it. And Nitty's down for one of these days. He's going to be over at the desk. And Stephanie, we're going to have you. So, because you're always great to talk to. So one of these days we'll have to have you over at the desk too.
Okay, I got 2 questions. First, Dave, what's your t-shirt say? I can't read all of it.
My t-shirt says you are a captive audience.
Okay.
Until you're a captive audience until further notice. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Is that the Arctic Circle or something like that behind you, Steph? Or what is that picture?
Arctic Circle? Hell no, that's Casco Bay.
No.
That's my. This is my sailing grounds. I'm wrong side. Right about up in that area is where I live. I race. I don't even know which hand I'm using. This is all so hard.
You can flip your camera; it becomes easier.
Yeah, I know, but
yeah, forgive me, I'm not the.
It's over that away, right? This area here is where I generally race.
If you flip the camera though, then you can't read the T-shirt.
Then you get the Down East Regatta backwards, and that's no good. So it's just it's all these compromises. They got to think backwards every now and again. Stand on your head. Not a big deal.
No, I was looking.
But no, that is a nautical chart of Casco Bay, and there are 365 islands in Casco Bay. That's why they're called the Calendar Islands.
Yeah, I actually typed in something like orange T-shirt that says captive or something like that, and this came up, so I bought it.
Nice.
That's good.
Nice.
I like orange, or I went to orange because it's like a mellow color,
Orange is a nice color.
A lot of the monks and everything, they wear the orange and everything, so it's
used to be
it's
my
supposed to
favorite
remind
color.
me to
Yeah,
it's supposed to be remind me to keep calm. It doesn't always work, but it's a reminder. It's a reminder. Keep calm.
I mean, certain colors have certain symbolic values, right? Like obviously red is anger, passion, that sort of thing. I don't know how concrete that is most of the time though.
But some days though I've wore too much orange, so then I have to have other colors too. So I don't always wear orange, but I
apparently
do like
that's
orange.
semiotics, right? So color in movies is represented by semiotics. It's signs and signals. So like you'll notice sort of John Woo used a lot of white and white stuff for purity and sort of good and contrasts a lot of the white with when the hero's on shot versus blacks when the villain's on shot kind of thing. So colors being having associations with things is very well known. However, the problem is that it's cultural. So white in other cultures may mean different things.
Right. Yeah, that's
quite famously. It's a color of death in a lot of Asian cultures.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Which is rather interesting. What, Dave? I got a question. A little, 5,000 views. What have you presented that was two questions? Most views. That's one.
I was going to.
And second, your favorite, the stream you did that you kind of thought, well, that was a hit. It can be the same one, I guess, but it'd be really cool if it's like I put this thing out and it's wow, really nailed it there, but nobody watched it.
I have to give it to Dan Phelps. I would have to say, and it's one of my most watched ones as well. Dan is the man. I mean, he got an award for his activism, along with a gentleman that wrote one of the books on evolution, and the Linsky Lab. Those were the three people that got this award. So he's behind the scenes. He writes. You'll see him in editorials and stuff like that. But if you know anything about all the stuff that Ken Ham has been pulling with the taxes and his attendance numbers, and the guy who's writing the Board of Education saying, I don't want that in the schools and all that kind of stuff, that's Dan Phelps. He's an unsung hero, and it was great to have him on. Actually, I just had him on again. We did a second one. So I would have to say, and I really enjoy talking to Dan. He's very knowledgeable. He's also he's a scientist too. He's a geologist / dabbles in paleontology. So yeah, that was I would have to say, yeah, Dan was a great one and great on views too. Now, the one that was a surprise was I did a talk with Mike over at Answers in Atheism. And I said, hey, can I, put it on my channel too? And he's like, sure. And Mike is another great guy. I want to let everybody know he's helped me out a lot. He gives me so much support and everything. And really appreciate Mike for all he's done and everything. And so I I reposted it, and it just exploded up to like almost 400 views. And I usually get, around 100, 100 and a quarter, for a decent video. I think Mark, our interview, had like 130 views. I think it was. So that's
cool.
that's a decent, that's my that's my decent number for my channel. Is around, if I get 100 and a quarter, 150, I consider it a successful video.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as making my own videos, I was really proud of my Shroud of Turin video. I put a lot of work into it. I put
Otangelo pop up for it.
Hello, Leo. I have asked Otangelo to review it repeatedly, and he said, and he keeps dodging me. I was completely sincere.
What a shocker!
I was sincere. You know what I mean? I tried it.
Well,
I know Otangelo is, but you see that sound system behind him? He's got, like quite a sound system. And I'm like, if nothing else, I bet we could really jam some music. You know what I mean? I always try to look for something, like if we could put everything aside. Too. Yeah, and just put some Van Halen on that sound system he's got or something and just crank it up.
That's what I thought. But then I was thinking, would Otangelo really like that kind of music? Look, maybe he does. Maybe he rocks Led Zeppelin.
I think true music lovers are diverse. They will give anything a shot. You may not like it, but I'll at least listen and decide.
I'd be shocked if Otangelo was a Lou Reed fan, but there you go. I don't know.
Shit, I rocked out to Taylor Swift. Say something.
It's good to see. It's good to see you, Leo. Thanks for stopping by.
Mm-hmm. I particularly like the Boston. What was it? The was it Boston 99? What was the name of that frigging show? That's going to
Brooklyn 99.
Yeah,
Brooklyn 99. Yeah, that when you
my wife and I are almost done with it.
Well, I won't give any spoilers then. No spoilers.
But I want
part in that was it. I just love Terry Crews in that show. He's a gorgeous man. He really is.
I read more papers.
It has been confirmed. Mark likes black guys.
There you go.
I read more scientific papers and
I'm not denying it.
And research and everything doing my Shroud video than I did anything else. I really, really tried to put true, deep, fact finding and everything into it, and what the actual experts said, not what the fringe people say, but what the actual
most
people. Period.
That's more than what most of these guys do.
Well, it's funny because the Catholic Church is the one that has ownership of the Shroud, but they won't confirm or deny its authenticity,
they won't dispute it. Yeah, they haven't disputed it. That's the important thing. So,
well, the thing is that they don't confirm it either. So it's kind of this. Well, if it was real, they would have said so long ago. They know it's not real. They know it, and they just.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To the credit, the caretaker,
the true cross are around.
Yeah, enough to build a house. To his credit, the caretaker of the Shroud said that all these different studies have been put out by these believers are not held up by mainstream science. So to their credit, he basically, I think he's a bishop or whoever runs the church there. He said basically that the science says what it says for now, and they're not planning on future testing, so they just leave it right there. So to his credit, he kind of dismissed everybody that's been coming up with their own methods to date it. So yeah. Go ahead, Lil.
There's a lot of people within the Catholic Church that deny its authenticity, despite even some that are like at the Vatican, even though the Vatican, like the actual papacy itself, has no position on its authenticity. But I have to be honest, I view the Shroud of Turin a lot like extraterrestrials. Like if it actually, I think extraterrestrials are real, but they haven't come here. Because think about it. these people, if they came here, they would know nothing about us. Why would they go straight to our governments? If the Shroud of Turin was real, like how would this not be common? Like every researcher would be like, oh wow, this is really fucking cool. It's effective confirmation that Jesus really was a real person and actually was crucified and buried. I mean, it wouldn't prove anything divine about the guy.
The Vatican would be the first people, if it had any validity, to hold it up as real.
Yep.
That would be.
And then I think the Baptist Church next.
And Nitty and I both seem to agree that it was too neat. A bloody body carried around in that shroud should have been a big smear, right?
Yeah, like I just think about how the Gospels describe Jesus getting his ass totally beat, his skin shredded by the cat of nine tails or whatever else they used. And then you've got some first century Jew like, hold up, Pilate, I gotta get, hey, hang on. And he's just like dragging this bloody motherfucker through Jerusalem.
Ready for my close-up now, Mr. DeMille. It's like, sure, okay.
Like,
so you're
come
saying
on,
Jesus basically became the Christian
the blood
version
is gonna
of
be
Frankenstein?
like, yeah, right. Like, no way. That shit's. It's like, Otangelo, I want you to kill someone, wrap them in a bedsheet, and drag their ass to a tomb. See how that blood pattern works out. Okay, thanks. Bye.
And depending on the story, they may have stopped and prepared the body on the way, and then again in the tombs, because there's
quick lube
two
them up.
different. Yeah, there's always a different version of everything in the Bible. So yeah, you've got one version where they could have stopped once, they'd picked the body all up again once it was wrapped with herbs and carried it again. So then you also have the herbs all in the mix, and that's a tough one when you're looking at the image. It looks like it's too perfect.
In fairness, they don't say that the pattern is caused by blood splatters. They say that it's caused by the holy light or whatever,
The Holy Spirit.
But there is blood on it. There is blood on it, though.
Right.
So that's true.
And they say the blood is consistent with his wounds.
You know what the problem is, though? That blood type didn't really come around until the Middle Ages.
Well, there's that too.
What is it?
But I just don't care.
I mean, the image of him isn't even anatomically correct. Like the image isn't like
he's got like
it's way bad proportions. Yeah, it's just
I think one of the
very good proportions.
This is getting into Bible porn now. It's anatomically correct here.
The Song of
You guys hear me?
You're talking Jesus Barbie
covered.
movie or what?
They made sure his hands are over that part. Yes, it's a very Christian.
Can you guys hear me all right?
A body developing rigor mortis.
Like,
Go ahead, Leo.
Well, no,
Leo.
at first I thought that I might have been on a delay. I didn't know. I was trying to test that. Nobody was responding, and I was like, oh shit, I am on a delay. But what I was gonna say is I think the problem here is that I don't even think Jesus was put in a tomb. He wasn't buried. He was probably thrown in a trench like they did everybody else that crucified. And there really isn't any convincing evidence against this other than the Bible.
That's a good point.
But I do try to be fair, and you know what I mean. I was never a believer, so it's hard for me. So I try to make the effort to come from the other side, right? So I just looked at it specifically at the Bible, and one of the early church fathers' problem with the shroud was it wasn't mentioned in the Bible.
I remember
even if you try to say the head covering, right, it is shroud-ish, like, well, then it's just a head covering, like.
But it was just laying there in a pile, or it was neatly folded, one or the other. Again, depending how, but yeah, it was just like, okay, there it was.
Oh, hold on. I'm getting a very special message. You guys wanted to know what kind of music I listen to on my sound system back here?
That's more Kermit the Frog than
yeah, but that's accurate though.
Yeah. So I put a picture of Jesus's face into ChatGPT, and I put the word lyrics with it, and then it plays back for me Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy hymnals. It's amazing. All right, I slipped out there that last part, but there you go. It's Miss
Are
Piggy
you
hymnals.
devolving into
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
I remember first finding out
Then
about
my
the
Gatorade
shroud
got
when I
stuck in my
was a
throat.
Catholic, and I was reading about it, and I was like, I mean, this doesn't prove divinity or anything, but like the Jesus mythicists are gonna hate, like this is fucking insane. And then I kept reading into it over like the next hour and a half, and by the end of it, I was like, oh, this is disappointing. Even when I was a Christian, I didn't think the Shroud of Turin was legitimate. That's just
I didn't know you were a Catholic. I didn't.
Yep,
know that.
all the way up until 2015, just before I turned 19 years old.
Hmm.
Well,
Wow.
well.
Hey, Big Bad Mama. Hello.
Hey, BBM.
Good to see you. Big Bad Mama's hilarious. Nara, thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Nara's got a small channel too. Started up
And
recently.
of course, Germania's bitch ass is in the chat, but not in the stream with his little bitch ass.
Oh, that's so
Hey, lay off
I'm
Gur.
talking Gur
Gur's
here.
doing
Oh,
Gur
yeah,
things.
good
That's-
old Gur.
That's my son. That's my son, Greasus. I keep rubbing it in that he played Greasus in a BS video, but I played God. So take
And he
that.
says that means Leo was never a true Christian. No. I wasn't a true Christian in virtue of not accepting the shroud. I wasn't a true Christian because I was a fucking Catholic.
Catholic, yeah.
Oh, if you
Well,
talk
it's
to
like-
another
also
Catholic
not
or
a true
of the
gospel.
Holy Catholic Church, the communion of saints, the forgiveness
The
of
Holy
sins, the resurrection of the body, the life everlasting, all that crap, you know? I mean, hey, what are you going to do?
Well,
But I was
it's so
back
weird that you
stage
talk
during an-
to Christians and they'll say that, and you're like, well, I don't, I don't see who's the real Christian and who's not. They could say the same thing, and they don't understand. Like, how do they not understand that? It's so weird to me. It's just
Well, it's
weird.
because Catholics worship Mary. So
No,
that's
I
a
get
false
that. I
idol
get
that
that.
Catholics worship.
Yeah.
This was actually said to me backstage when I was after, like, just back in 2020. David Neff brought me on this show because these guys were talking about the speed of light and getting everything wrong, and trolling them was so fucking funny. Anyway, before the show started and everything like that, I was backstage and I had mentioned that I used to be a Catholic, and he's like, "Oh man, you guys are something else. Why do you worship Mary?" And I was like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, Catholics worship Mary." And I was like, "Where in the Catechism of the Catholic Church is it outlined that Mary is to be worshipped?" Guy couldn't answer the question, naturally, because he doesn't know shit about Catholicism.
Oh,
Actually,
hey, Stephanie.
of all of the things about the Catholic Church that I actually admire is the veneration of the divine feminine. I think that that's a nice element that they have going for themselves.
They
And
still won't let women be priests, though.
yeah.
so
Exactly.
Fuck them.
no,
Fucking
I know, I
Sorry,
know. That's-
sorry, Dave. I
There's
don't
the
know.
upside. There's the
Sorry.
upside. There's the
My
downside.
apologies.
But
I was
Just
gonna,
one little
I was gonna let
upside.
you know. I was gonna let you know, Stephanie. On a side note, when I interviewed Seth, that worked for Ken Ham, and he told me the little anecdote about Ken Ham's pond was leaking, and they had to keep filling it. And then he told me they had the people out there with their dowsing rods looking for the leak.
Oh.
I think that was the funniest thing. I still laugh
think-
every time I see it, thinking about those guys. And then he said, and then to top it off, he said, but they were the real metal kind. Like it makes a difference.
And plus, like, I met somebody that believed in that dowsing stuff, and I'm like, how do you know that they didn't put the leak there?
They didn't find the leak.
Oh, they didn't find the leak. Well, I've spoken to someone
And
that
then come
did
around
find the
full
leak.
circle. Okay.
Oh.
Does everybody remember when Ken Ham was in the news for filing an insurance claim for flood damage?
Yeah, to his
It was a
boat.
funny thing.
His
Okay,
little
well,
boat.
the roadway, access roadway washed out. Okay. Now, come full circle, Dan Phelps told us that's because the ground was already saturated because his pond kept leaking and they kept filling it up with water. So when it rained, it was too much and it washed out. So he did it to himself.
Fucking dumbass.
Ugh.
So it was kind of cool that the story all kind of came together, you know?
I just find it. But so you're talking about the Ark Encounter Museum kind of
Yes.
thing? So he made an insurance claim for the
Yes.
Ark Encounter taking on water.
Well,
that's
a
hilarious.
roadway washed away. It wasn't. It wasn't actually
Little known fact is that Noah also filed a claim with Lloyd's of London at the time, but they never paid off. I don't know. They discovered that they apparently had been washed away with the rest of the world.
But apparently,
it's pretty bad. You build this big boat. Build a big boat, load it up with everything, trying to save humanity, save all the species of the world, and lo and behold, God forgot your insurance agent.
Ken doesn't believe in paying for acts of God damage.
I just realized now there are two infamous creationists whose first names both start with a K and have economic problems.
I'm not sure if you.
They're both KH. They're both KH.
Oh, that too. I guess.
BS. Hello, BS. Good to see you.
Hi, BS.
Always enjoy a good BS video. They're hilarious. Always cracking me up. Well, speaking of, what channels do you guys watch when you're not making videos?
Hold on.
It depends.
Yeah,
like if I'm in a mood to listen to some of those scary creepypasta stories you see on the internet, then I'll go to like the Lighthouse Horror or the Dark Somnium. Those are really my two favorite because they're both fucking phenomenal. Like Lighthouse Horror is my favorite. His narration style is just so fucking stellar. Otherwise, I watch a lot of World Science Festival stuff from the Royal Institution. You know, I watch Sean Carroll's channel, his Mindscape podcasts. If like, you know, if somebody like Aaron Ra or Apologia has something that interests me, because most of their stuff is like Bible stuff, and I don't care. That none of that interests me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You're never going to meaningfully convert Christians or religious people doing it. It's just you're not. It's going to fail. Anyway, otherwise I'll watch like random philosophy channels that I find like, well, this one isn't really random, but Kane B, Friction, Detroyer, his channel's fucking great. I watch Danny's channel a lot. I watch some of Tom Rabbit's videos. I'm going to shut up now and let other people share.
Oh, go ahead, Nitty. You were going to say something. What do you like?
So I have a wide range of stuff. My wife and I watch Slow-Mo Guys, How to Cook That with Ann Reardon. She's the most wholesome cooking channel on YouTube. She's an Australian woman who does stuff with her husband, Dave, and I think it's Dave, and her kids. And she has a mini kitchen, like micro machine kitchen that can actually bake food. And it gets like featured in like Australian trade shows and stuff. On my own time, I watch amazing like true crime documentaries on the channel This Is Monsters. And this summer he's covering In the Wild murders, so murders that happen on like mountain paths and like at nature resorts and climbing hikers, all that stuff. And then on the I listen to Drew Gooden and Chad for like random societal commentary stuff. And then on the religious side, I listen to Joe Schmid. Who else?
Joe Schmid is great, and all of you should be subscribed to his channel.
Yeah. Christy Burke, Deep Drinks with David McDonald, that he's up and coming. Obviously, I watch all your guys' stuff, Pocket Locker, Nara. I try to catch, Stephanie Live, Mark. You guys know that already. And then on the politics side, I listen to Bo of the Fifth Column. He's like a middle libertarian-ish guy. And he looks like he would be a like conservative type dude. But he's not.
As
like
liberal, like progressive.
Yeah.
Fairly progressive.
He's a liberal. Yeah. He's generally pretty progressive, but I don't think he's like.
I mean, he's not a leftist,
right?
But he's progressive.
Yeah, and so he's really.
Do you watch Boss at all? I'm probably
a little bit.
But he's controversial.
Yeah.
I think it's just because he is so based and people can't stand it.
well,
he's
feel
also
like there's
pissed off
people
like
in our-
every tanky in the world, and tankies are just fucking. Go ahead.
I feel like people in our, like, we'll call it YouTube space. I hesitate on the community. Anyway, because some people don't like it when you say community, but
People we bump into a lot.
yeah, people we bump into a lot. Some of them don't like Vosh, and I'm still trying to figure out why. I've heard some of it's like white knighting a bit, but I don't know if there's some other controversial thing.
Yes, there is.
Okay,
I can explain it to you. So he was in a stream, and this was like 2.5 years ago. This was back in like maybe even late 2019 or maybe early 2020. This was like less than a year, or right around about a year that he had his channel. He was, and they were at a point where they were talking about child exploitation. And Vosh, and he's already admitted that this was really poor. It was way too edgy, and he was really stupid to have tried to explain it this way. But being super edgy and sort of analogical to try to make the point that any form of child exploitation is bad. The guy said, well, yeah, but like, because he was talking about, you know, like chocolate and our clothing and how that's all like produced with child slave labor. And the guy was like, yeah, but like, you know, we still have to purchase clothes and chocolate and stuff like that. And Vosh and the guy was like, so I don't really see anything wrong with that. I mean, I'm not directly contributing to like what's happening to the kids. I'm not really responsible for that. And Vosh was like, yeah, I don't see any legal issue with merely possessing child pornography because I'm just possessing it. I'm not doing anything to contribute to the harm of these children. I'm just possessing the child pornography. So, and it was really dumb and edgy of him to do, and he's admitted that. But now everybody thinks that Vosh is a pedophile because he's used pedophilia as an example of how, you know what, exploiting children to make chocolate is kind of bad too. We shouldn't be focusing just on CP when it comes to child exploitation. The fact that there's like 9-year-old Malaysian kids making your shoes for 27 cents an hour is kind of a bad thing. So if you buy those kinds of shoes knowing that, you are contributing in much the same way that if you buy CP, you're contributing to the fucking problem. But he was not actually, to any extent, advocating for fucking CP.
Okay. Yeah,
I think anybody that starts, you know, growing a lot, they get critiqued a lot more. You know?
And Vosh grew fast. Like
you know, like we can sit around and chit chat. Nobody's really gonna care. But when you start getting those big viewers, you've got somebody sitting there taking notes, just ready for you to use the wrong, you know, wrong word, and
I think the other thing is that his influence in the community extends far beyond what you would expect for him only having like 430,000 subscribers. I would put his influence as probably on par, if not even greater than Destiny's, who's got like 700K subscribers just on YouTube. I think he got kicked off of the other Twitch. So
Twitch, yeah.
I don't know how many followers or whatever they're called on there he had, but I'm pretty sure it was more than 700K. But I'm not sure. But yeah, Vosh, for his size, you wouldn't think he's nearly as influential in like breadtube leftist, you know, progressive community that exists online. And I think that's another reason people.
I heard his name mentioned a lot, and that's when I went and looked for his channel. Yeah, a lot. His name gets around a lot.
I only see him on Modern Day Debate, and he seems fine. You know, seems like he has some good ideas.
I used to watch Destiny. He made. So go ahead. You go ahead.
I want to compare his engagement to Destiny's, so I'm gonna go to Social Blade and see like, by his subscriber base, how many views his videos get. So he's got 442,000 subs, right, on his latest show, and he had 33,716 views. Now,
how long did it take to accumulate those views?
That's a good point. Well, this would be since the 18th. So, well, hang on. Oh, hold on. I'm checking. So, yeah, I mean, overall, it looks like he's trending about half amount of views to how many subs he has. And it looks like he can make anywhere from like $44 a stream to like $700, depending on how long it is and how much ad per stream.
Well, he's already admitted openly he makes 6 figures. He makes well into the 6 figures. I don't think he's making like over 100 something odd thousand, but he makes 6 figures. I'm pretty sure like after taxes and everything.
Yeah. And I think I have to have like a
Still
paid
bringing in
Social
six
Blade
figures.
account to see like how many of the views
Like full
are
stuff?
actually how many of the views are actually correlative to how many subscribers, like how much of that is the actual subscribers watching versus just people like, oh, I get a Vosh video on my feed. Let's click that. Like, because
And
I
by the
check
way, I
that
did
for
go to
my
his main channel.
like every day.
Yeah. I did go to his main channel, and his newest video, I'm not looking at any of his lives, I'm looking at just the videos he posts, was 10 hours ago. It's got 67K views. Every other video after that going down, let's see how long it takes me to find the next one that's only 2 digits, because all these are over 100K. Sometimes, oh, there it is. 1 month ago, 88K views. That's quite a lot of videos in between that have. Damn, and he's also got the second channel, the Bosch Pit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there's no question the guy puts out content, puts out pretty good content. I catch it every now and again, but I don't really, I think it's, I don't know.
I was gonna say I think
if
you watch it a little
one way
too
or the other.
much, if you watch it a little too much, you know what I mean. You're gonna get into that, nitpicking every word crowd, and I think it's a little bit of Vosh is good. That's how I catch him now and then when it's something I'm interested in, but I'm not watching it.
Right.
Just to nitpick everything he says,
Well, I never got to talk about the channels that I watch, so let's go.
Mark, go.
Yeah, well,
go ahead, Mark.
Steph. Let's finish what you were going to say, Steph, and then I'll sort of share.
Yeah, I was gonna pick up on your tip, but you go ahead, and then I'll go.
Oh, okay, sure. So yeah, I mean, I watch all of you guys. I watch Nitty, and I watch Ember, and I watch Grayson. He puts out good stuff, which is critical based theory.
I had Grayson on. And I've also emailed Grayson with some questions, and he helps me out, and I appreciate it. Yeah.
I like modern day debate. I like watching debates. I do enjoy debates, and it's really hard to find a place that isn't like basically Donnie. Just really fierce. It's a shame because like people like debates, but there seems to be no great debate channels except for like MDD. I like it's got a lot of controversy. With who it platforms and stuff, and I get that, but I do like debates, and that they're probably the best channel for debates at the moment, which is, sad, but that's okay. I do like gaming channels. Sorry,
I just said probably the premier debating channel on YouTube.
Right. Probably the best one. I mean, I think probably non-sec was, but that's
was
garbage. So,
that's what I was just talking about when that kind of went bad and everything.
Well, that was the great
James
right?
saw a great opportunity and stepped right in.
Yeah, absolutely. I do like my gaming channels when I'm sort of on downtime. I do like Retromation, and I used to watch Northern Line, not so much anymore. But some of the smaller games.
And we know Mark is a nerd because we gave him the nerd test when I interviewed him. So he is a 100% certified nerd. So
well, that's seen as derogatory in some parts. It's probably best not to use that because it does trigger some people. But I don't mind. I mean, I'm okay with the label.
It was all in good fun. That's all.
Philosophy Tube, I really like. I think Philosophy Tube does amazing stuff. I occasionally watch the ContraPoints video or two, but not so much recently. I don't know. I watch a whole myriad of things. It's hard to go through everything, right?
Who runs Philosophy Tube? I can't remember.
Oh, I can't remember. They're a trans woman that is very. I mean, she's amazing.
Wait, is that Natalie Wynn?
Yes,
no,
Natalie Wynn.
That's Natalie Wynn is ContraPoints.
That's right. Yeah.
And golly,
I can't remember her name.
Let me go to Twitter.
Right through my head.
And everybody wish
Abigail Thorne.
Everybody wish Andrew
Abigail Thorne.
Yes, Abigail Thorne. Jesus fuck. I was gonna have to go to Twitter to figure this out. Yes, it's Twitter.
Everybody,
it's Twitter. It's Twitter.
Everybody wish
It's Twitter.
Andrew a good
It's
evening.
called Twitter. Twitter is the name
Thanks.
of the app. It's Twitter.
Thanks for stopping by, Andrew. I'll talk to you again. I'm sure we have some things we might do together here. We're trying to work out too. So.
Well, actually,
ahead.
it's
Sorry.
no longer it's no longer Twitter. It's now got an X. So
Dumbest thing ever.
what used to be a tweet, it's now like it's the X as in pinyin, so it's pronounced sh, right? So it's now shitter, and what used to be a tweet is now a shit.
A sheet.
Well, it could be a sheet, but it
Have I
depends.
missed a joke or something?
Have you seen my shit?
I don't use
No,
Twitter.
Mark, you don't have a Twitter, do you?
No.
You
I
haven't
don't.
heard with Elon Musk changing Twitter to literally just X, like just the letter X.
He's having a Prince.
You know what's
he's
funny?
having a Prince
There's
moment.
records that Elon Musk, like way back in like the early 2000s or late 90s, some shit like that, wanted to change the name of PayPal to guess what? X. Just the letter X. And he wanted to make it an everything app. And what's he said about Twitter? Let's rename it to X and make it an everything app. This guy is just a fuck mook. Like, I don't know how else to describe it.
I used to
believe
like Elon
actually
Musk a
that-
lot, but man, what a dipshit.
I believe that actually Elon is a devotee of Baal, who enjoys the aroma of money being burned is pleasing. The smoke is pleasing to Baal.
Exactly.
Just
didn't he set a record for most money lost? Didn't he set some kind of record?
People in the space industry demonic? Isn't all space industry people demonic in some way?
See, that's the only thing.
That's particle physicists at CERN who are trying to open a portal to hell to let all the evil demons out.
He gets a lot of credit for the space program thing, but he didn't invent anything. He just took a government entity and made it private. And if you do that, anybody that would take any government aid and entity and make it their own private enterprise is going to do it cheaper because you eliminate a bunch of the government bureaucracy.
That's why it's done worse.
That's all he did. That's all he really did. So he shaved a few dollars off because you don't have to pay, all these people in their cubicles around the government to get their cut. That's all he did. He shaved a few dollars off. He didn't invent anything. He's using the same rockets. There's a formula. Everybody uses the same formula to launch a rocket. So, except for his ones that explode, and because he forgets to do it right. So,
by the way, there's an underlying notion here. I'm sorry, I have to respond to you because it's just not true, and that's the notion that the free market does things cheaper. While it is true that oftentimes the free market doesn't spend as much money doing projects, it is also true that these projects aren't done nearly as safely or with the right kinds of regulations or oversight in place that they should and that they would if they were done through the government, which is why doing things publicly is almost always better. Just look at the U.S. interstate highway system.
In some things,
using
public
an
education
Xbox controller for a submarine is genius. How dare you? How dare you?
Elon blowing up rockets to test them is not the way that space agencies do that anymore.
Well, I don't think he's intentionally
that's back in the
doing
50s. That. You know what I mean? Well, they were applauding it and cheering it when it blew up.
It blows up and then they say, hey, that's interesting, we learn stuff from it. It's a post hoc explanation kind of thing. Like nobody goes out to try and blow up rockets, let's face it,
except Elon.
Okay.
He
kind of effed up with the blowing up the rocket over the swamp in Texas. There, he's kind of got in a little trouble with that.
Oh, he's
sorry about that.
Yeah.
And then nuking the hurricane from Trump. Brilliant idea.
That doesn't mean he intended to screw up. Like that wasn't his intention.
Man.
He just it's really good to say when you do screw up. Well, I meant to do that all along. That's essentially what he's doing.
I don't know, man. Elon shits and falls back in it pretty fucking frequently to not be doing this intentionally.
Have you taken? Has anybody taken a ride in a self-driving taxi?
I am not going to do that unless it's
anybody.
Not Tesla.
They were supposed to be out years ago making the investors returns already. Now, all joking aside, and everybody can make fun of Elon, but you know what? There are investors. And you know what? Who put up half the money for X or X Twitter? Investors. It wasn't all him. He put up half the money. Saudi investors put up the rest. Big people with big, deep pockets. Now, all joking aside, and Elon may go, oh, I lose money. I don't care. The investors care. And sooner or later, they're going to ask, hey, I don't have my self-driving taxis I gave you money for, right? I don't have my self-driving semis I gave you money for. So, I mean, there's going to be a reckoning sooner or later. These people, not all these people just like throwing away money like Elon does.
Yeah.
Some, you're going to have a knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Didn't I give you money? You know what I mean? And of course, Elon loves just getting lawyers all involved and saying, oh, I don't have to pay my bills. When you try to back out of the Twitter deal and everything or whatever, it's just like, I'm just making fun of that.
Fun things to watch in media.
I mean,
my question has been,
my question has always been, is people have been investing in these things. So
yeah, but Dave, you've got to prove that the management has actually been liable, because when you invest, there is always risk. Always, doesn't matter what it is. Even if you're investing in something incredibly safe like bonds or something like that,
in principle,
there's still risk.
And the opposite could happen. People could stop giving him money because they're going to get to a point where, hey, we keep giving you money and not getting anything back. So, it could have the opposite effect.
Yeah, but the people that invested in his other things, like Tesla, for instance, have gotten money back. That's the thing. Like, it all depends on when you cash in your stocks. So Elon Musk is really good at increasing the value of a company on the short term, which does suit some people. That's exactly what they're after.
Except for Shitter, which he kind of.
Well, yeah, that's definitely absolutely. But that's
I got to make fun of him because his things are just sometimes they're just hilarious. He wanted to have already in place 2020, I think 2024, 2025, about now, rockets that would send you from city to city in like a few minutes instead of getting on an airplane. It was on a TED Talk and everything.
How is he going to slow them down? How fast are they going to go? Oh my God. Anyway, because Gur made a comment about the technology just isn't there yet for like driverless vehicles. That's false. It's been there for like almost 20 years. Do you not know about the agriculture industry? There are combines that can drive themselves damn near perfectly straight 1.5 miles down a field harvesting corn. The technology is there. Yes, it's been there for a long time. Every farmer in at least the United States of America and probably Canada and maybe some other places knows this. I mean, we're talking sub-inch accuracy on our satellites.
Yeah,
in the agriculture industry.
In my university, they have a bus that drives around the campus, and nobody drives it. It's self-driving. The technology is perfectly fine. The problem is to get people to accept the technology because people don't want self-driving cars. They want to be able to drive their own fucking cars.
I think
I love to drive when I was a kid.
Want to hear what my favorite YouTube channels are, or should I just?
Yeah, we don't want to skip you. We don't want to skip you. Fire away. No, go ahead.
All right.
I want to know.
I want to. If Leo, if you don't know yet, Sean Carroll dropped about a 4.5 hour Mindscape podcast like today or yesterday. That is absolutely fantastic. So I'm not all the way through it yet, but it's absolutely fantastic. It's on the theme of the crisis in physics, because there's been a lot of that going along in physics.
Being a Hassenfelder.
Like,
yes,
that crazy person. She's all kinds of crazy about that. But so Sean, what's funny about the show, no spoilers because I'm not done with it yet, but he devotes about 1.5 hours to what's not a crisis in physics today. Like, okay, these are the things we do understand and understand very, very well. It's really, I love the way the guy presents stuff. And like you, I check out the Royal Institution and the Perimeter Institute and a whole bunch of physics stuff in the physics realm. I'll tend to get into a tip on some particular topic I'm interested in. I've been watching an awful lot of stuff from the National World War I Museum lately over the origins and progress of the First World War, because I think it's rather interesting. Particularly in terms of contemporary politics with the situation in Europe right now, with Russia and Ukraine, and the way alliances could tragically fuck up and lead us into a huge conflagration. It's just, kind of interesting historically that way. And so the Naval War College, they put out some good material, good historical material. And in the atheist realm, Bosch occasionally, President Sunday every now and again. Uncle Bobby always tickles me because I love his approach, even though it's a little rough. If you don't mind getting told to go fuck yourself every now and again, it's all good. And it's really kind of a good take. It's like, who has time for that shit? Why I don't go on debate channels and stuff like that. And I really kind of sympathize with that. And I'm a mod on the lines programs, when most of them. I've been a guest on a couple of them, but so and of course all you guys. I watch your content and love it.
Here's one for everybody. What's the goofiest stuff you got stuck watching that you just had to keep watching in the middle of the night for no reason other than you couldn't believe how terrible it was?
There's this
Mud Fossil. Yeah, those are good ones. Yeah.
Spirit Science, maybe. I think Spirit Science, actually. That's disgustingly bad.
Mud Fossil U is definitely, so we did, Maya Atkinson's channel. It's kind of up and coming.
I'll never look at caves the same way again.
Seriously. We do the Bad Science Sunday thing, which is always fun. And boy, there's some bad stuff out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would have to agree that the Mud Fossils are pretty bad. And Sid Roth's channel, it's Supernatural. Wow, everybody that's on there's just got the most amazing story to tell about how the demons did this, that, and everything else, and the furniture was moving, and they just sit there and tell these things with a straight face, and oh yeah, praise Jesus, and it's just
when you're talking bad science, you can't help but give an honorable mention, at the very least, to Sal Cordova. It's just so bad. Jesus Christ.
Sal, yeah, he's a nice guy, but holy crap,
he may be a nice guy, but geez, he just doesn't quite.
Sal makes a quick appearance in the beginning of my hell video because he seemed to have turned Brett against me. So
that's not too hard.
Well, Brett doesn't want to talk.
It's easy for you, Nitty. Brett likes you.
Multiple times.
Nah, I don't know.
Well, Brett
did you get banned yet?
I don't know. I haven't checked. I decided, like, if that's even a possibility, it's probably a waste of my time, right? It's like,
did you see her, I guess, latest video about something about old Dolphy and religion or something? And it's like, I think she hit her head.
Oh no.
Well, apparently she doesn't like atheists much anymore, but that's okay. Right. She can do whatever she wants.
There's not much worse than an atheist. That's what
Us
she
dirty
said.
heathens.
I could think a lot of things are worse than an atheist, but in some people's minds, we are at the bottom of the barrel. Yep.
Apparently so. Because we don't have
You know,
morals. No, but we have no morals whatsoever. We just do whatever we want.
Last night in the after show from Bad Science Sunday, I just did a little thing, and who should show up on my channel but P-Town. I talked with P-Town for an hour and change.
Is it a bearable conversation?
I was there. I was watching.
Yeah,
it was interesting. I mean, you guys and Stephanie's really trying to control herself. I noticed it's really difficult, but you did a good job of
I don't think I ever lost my cool at all.
No, you didn't. You just seem to look like you're right there.
Well, I
feel you. That's
but I wasn't. I really wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to shit on the guy, and I don't think he felt shit on.
That's I feel the same way. It's okay. I'll try to talk, and and it's nice when you can. So I give him credit. I mean, a lot of Christians talk a lot, but they won't show up. I've invited, I don't know how many, and a lot of other channels say they do the same. They invite believers on of all different faiths, and they're quick to call you a demon and this, that, and everything else, but they're not so quick to come on and do it on a stream. So
I honestly think that P-Town doesn't know where he stands, and that's sort of reinforced by the conversation last night. I don't think he's not a member of any particular, as far as I'm aware, of any particular
church,
devotional practice, or I don't think he's.
He gets around a lot. He gets around a lot. You might be right. He does seem to get around a lot and having a lot of conversations.
And Aaron's sort of taken a shine to him, I guess.
Yeah, he had that live video where he was like having lunch with him or something, which was interesting.
When you're a Christian that spends more time with atheists on YouTube than you do with any other Christians or in face-to-face or church, I'm now very skeptical for how Christian you really are. Right?
Yeah, I don't like that argument. No, I don't. That's the same as saying, "Oh, well, atheists do nothing but talk about God," kind of thing. Like it's not. It's not a good argument. Come on now.
I guess in America, though, like this is a strange thing, Mark. Like, for like how do I want to put this? Like, most people, I think, that are going to church regularly in America are not excited for or willing or open. Like, they're all over the spectrum of ready to reject unbelief, right? Some are just like, whatever, I do this thing, it's whatever. But I think people are at least at like some initial, like, I don't think I want to spend time doing that, to why would I ever do that, right? Like, if my relative doesn't believe, I guess I'll talk to them about it and try and convert them. But like most Christians, I don't think in the States are like, holy shit, I better get on YouTube and like debate atheists and spend more time with them than I do probably my family or the people in this church. Like, I just don't see that. That's why I think it's odd.
Well, it's because she took the step to be an evangelist and take on the role of doing that. So yeah, I mean, I
guess.
Yeah, it's not everyday people on the street. She set out to do it. Like I said, I was invited. I was invited to come there and have discussions. So she was actively seeking us and bringing us over.
That's different than the person who's like, okay, what atheist channel has an open room today? I need to go hang out with them. Like
That's
when
how
I
I
was a
met Brad, though.
Christian-
I was on a Christian channel,
Sure.
and they were saying, "Where are all the unbelievers? They won't join in the chat." And I said, "Because you block us all or call us demons." And Rebecca said in the chat, "You come over to my channel. I won't block you or call you a demon." Well, she
But
did.
when I was a very when I was a very I have to evangelize Christian, like I tempered that with like what the Bible says, you need to not forsake meeting with other Christians. Like to say like I'm a YouTube evangelist and not have regular church attendance or like regular time like invested in Christian relationships, to me that seems odd, right? And maybe that's just because I was a part of like a more culty Christian church, but even then, like I think the Bible is pretty clear. Like what there's like a verse that's like bad company corrupts good character. There's like this idea that like you're gonna drift towards being who you spend the most time with. And like so the idea to me that like the reason I'm more suspicious of that, and I could just be wrong, is that it comes off as like it's almost like they want to, like those kinds of people either want to just argue all the time, which is debatably a Christian thing or not, or B, they kind of really want friends and connection that doesn't have much to do with what they believe or don't believe.
Well, I'll acknowledge that. That some of them do just look for friends because, like, if you're the wrong kind of Christian on YouTube, like, you will get it sometimes almost as bad as an atheist kind of thing, you know, like
or you'll just get banned for being really fucked up. Eventually,
maybe,
but
yeah.
Well, I think part of the thing is too that she doesn't just have atheist guests.
I thought we were talking about P-Town still.
Same here. I thought I'm on that track as well. That I get
either way.
It's either way. I mean, with P-Town, I think that I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I think he's. I just think he's. I think he is trying to evangelize. I do think he's trying to evangelize because he's all into the Bible verse thing. He's into the Bible verse thumping stuff. He has a problem when he comes up against somebody who actually was raised in the church, like deeply.
Well, I get the feeling he thought he would come on YouTube and sort of just convert everybody kind of thing. He thought that he'd come on and suddenly all the atheists would, like, he seems so disappointed when you raise objections. His expectations were like he was just going to convert all of these people, and it's like you raise perfectly good and he's like, oh, I don't understand why you're pushing back so hard. And it's like, well, because it's a dumb argument. Like, I'm sorry, but like just sort of saying, hey, the moon is sort of the same size as the sun.
Oh my god,
that
was the first one he hit me with.
So bad.
Well, everybody likes to be comfortable and sit around talking, comfortably. But then again, I have to put it back on the believer, because the believer, especially in Christianity and evangelicals, are supposed to be going out and reaching the unbelievers, right, Nitty? I mean, isn't that the idea? Are they supposed to just sit back?
Yeah, that is the idea, but I think, at least from my faith commitment, like we value doing that in person way over some kind of form of media.
But again, though, I have to put it on them, because I don't have any, I don't have any commitment to do it, but technically the believer does. So, but again, I'm not pressuring them, and I just, again, if you're going to talk a bunch of smack, though, then step up. But that's all. You want to go about your thing, and we've talked about with James before, that we don't have a problem with a lot of religions because they're not bothering anybody. When was the last time a Native American religion tried to do something against somebody in our laws or anything? They're not bothering anybody. and there's hundreds of religions that aren't bothering anybody. It's just these couple religions that are bothering somebody.
Yeah, it's the ones that are going down to the school boards and making assholes of themselves.
I tell people all the time, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. All hail Bigfoot. Hang out in the woods all night. Knock on trees, right? Talk to Bigfoot. Leave some rocks out and some bananas, and you might get some flowers back in return. So it sounds like a good deal.
Did you happen to catch Bree's cryptid corner live from the hive? I'm sure it's going to come up as a solo episode. But this guy.
I'm there every Saturday morning.
Yeah, so you saw that guy was going out into the woods and leaving gifts for the Bigfoot on the rock there and all of that.
That's why I said it. Yeah, I just saw it. Oh yeah, I ran into Bree over on Mike's channel, and I think again Mike's like, oh yeah, you gotta go check out Bree's thing. So I went and she's covering Bigfoot, and I'm like, oh, I love Bree. So
I love watching Bree. It's always so late in where I am. I always have to let go before it's over. It's frustrating.
So we've got a kindred spirit in the Bigfoot, and so does my partner Trees from LookAtTheTrees. Last night he gave his Bigfoot encounter story on Grassman Chronicles. So if you want to hear about his encounter. So we're having a lot of fun.
Did he have a literal encounter with Bigfoot?
At the time, he thought it was a Bigfoot. But now, looking back, he was with two other buddies, and him and one of the other buddies now thinks, well, no, it was a black bear. But the third one still says, no, it was Bigfoot. So.
Okay. So do you think Rebecca is trying to evangelize? Do you think that's her?
She said basically word for word that God told her to go on YouTube and get us heathen atheists swapped over.
I think she's another
and God
person
told her, give up on those bastards. They're all going to hell anyway.
Then God got a hold of her a couple months ago. God called back and said, You're really bad at evangelizing. Never mind.
I think she's
forget about it.
Yeah, I think she's another one that sort of thought that she would be converting people left, right, and center. But I don't know her that well.
At least one, and that's why she loves Gurr, because she's holding out for you, Gurr. This way. I did it too, Stephanie. I'll point the wrong way.
I know
over there in the chat. I see you, Gurr. We know she's holding out that you're going to be the one that she converts to make it all worthwhile. We all have to surround Gurr. He needs our protection.
Lay on hands on Gurr. Yes, let the hatred flow through you, Gurr.
I appreciate the encouragement there. When Gurr was my age.
In YouTube years.
Yeah. I saw, I know, I get, like I say, I get, my viewers, and it's like, I think it's about 60-40. So I get a good chunk of my subscribers watching my stuff. I mean, some of the other ones, get picked up here and there. And I like to look at it just for fun. And the other day it said 4996, and I was like, wow. And it already bumped me to 5K, because it rounds it off. So I thought, well, maybe I'll do a little stream, after
just a celebration. Sure.
Yeah, after my show with Trees last night. Well, afterwards, Trees and I ended up having our own after show, and we chatted till like about midnight. We were just shooting the chit, and getting to know each other a little bit, and just talking about things, little plans about what we want to do in future episodes and stuff. And So yeah, we were sitting there until neither one of us could sit anymore and hold our bladder anymore. So it was a good time though. So we're having a lot of fun. I like Trees. He's we bounce things good off of each other. We both, oh yeah, I didn't think of that, So I think we make a good pair.
Very good people.
And he's got his own thing going there because he's in the area of Bigfoot or the area for hotspot of Bigfoots in Ohio. So he's right in that area. So I got
big feet in Ohio.
Yes. He's also the man on the ground right there. So
the Ohio Bigfoot triangle. Like I just
well, that's why we are the Grassman Chronicles. In case you don't know, in Ohio, Bigfoot is a grassman. So we decided to call it the Grassman Chronicles because we also both live in Ohio. So that's how the name came together. Since everybody was so curious and asking.
Wait, so grassman. So this is a Bigfoot that lives like on the plains, or does it stalk
in the woods?
No, something? What are we talking? In the woods. Okay.
Southeast Ohio is very forested. There's a lot of parks there, and there's a great big state park there, and a lot of Bigfoot sightings happen there. And all the Bigfoot shows and Bigfoot hunters have all done shows from the park there. And every spring they have a big Bigfoot event there. And one of the Bigfoot organization headquarters is in the area. And Ohio is number 4 for Bigfoot sightings out of the 50 states. And they're almost all in that area.
We don't have no big feet up here in Maine. We just got moose.
You got them everywhere. You got one of the ones we have to cover. I told Trees we have to cover is the Hawaii Bigfoot. Even Hawaii has a Bigfoot. I told them we have to cover the Hawaii Bigfoot. So that one will be.
That's amazing.
I think you should do a fundraiser to actually go to Hawaii.
the great Bigfoot luau.
Well, it comes spring, all hail Bigfoot that everything's still going well. Trees is hoping to do a live shot from the Bigfoot event.
Where is Bigfoot hiding in Hawaii?
Because in Hawaii, on the slopes of Kilauea, actually, they call it Hotfoot. Actually,
Bigfoot is in every state in the United States. There's sightings in every state.
I mean, obviously away from the tiki torches, because we all know what that does to body hair.
Well, see, and the whole story is, I got started with, how Doug does the flying man thing, right?
Sure.
Well, my thing was always Bigfoot, okay? So when the precepts would say God did it, prove he didn't, I would always say Bigfoot did it, prove he didn't. And whatever their arguments were, I just inserted Bigfoot in it and threw it back at them. They said, well, God loves you. I said, not like Bigfoot loves you. Did Bigfoot ever throw any wrath down upon anybody? Yeah, what's Bigfoot doing? He just wants to be left alone, man. He ain't bothering nobody, right?
Does anyone else have one of those? I mean, I use my own. What's everyone got for their alternative explanation? Because I know Ember uses Nils, which is like a magical butterfly. I use the Blarney stone, which is like a magical stone that created the universe.
Yeah.
You use Bigfoot, obviously. Anybody else use anything?
I did dub snuffing the other day. I don't know. I just made that up. A dub snuffing, yeah.
Just as much explanatory power as God. There you go.
Totes.
Well, and Deconverted Man's thing is lobster. He's a lobsterist. Mm-hmm. So.
Lobsterist, okay.
Oh, I hope I'm not committing sacrilege with my shirt here.
Deconverted Man, if you're watching this later, was sorry about that. Garlic and butter.
Yeah, all the garlic. That's no place for garlic in your lobster stuff. I'm sorry.
Lots of garlic and butter make lobster good.
Not a main thing.
And speaking of, I'll throw my own in there that I love Apologia. Paula, and I caught him. He was one of the ones that I caught like on his first episode, and so I've always watched from day one. So it was always kind of cool that I caught him from his, that first day, his first episode, right when it came out and everything, and watching him grow and grow. And then I told my wife, I don't know how many times, I was like, I wish him and Shannon would just hook up. They both need, he needed somebody, and then they got hooked up, and I told my wife, I was like, they got hooked up. So it was like, watching the whole thing kind of unfold over the years. That was kind of cool,
I like Shannon Kish. She's amazing.
Yeah. So
she is extraordinary. The two of them are really cute together too.
And I have to get my fill of dumb. I have to watch some Hovind and some Ham and I said Hovind. Just so everybody notices, when I made my video, I didn't mention his name once. That was intentional. But I got to get my fill. I gotta check out Donnie's channel, and of course, if Mark's on debating and some of my other favorite people, I have to watch. Even though I don't like giving him the views or anything, I'm there rooting you guys on anyways. So. And then and then I'm all over the place. I like watching. I see Jay Bundy. I knew Jay Bundy from his drummer videos because I like checking out people just doing their own little music thing, kick back and just pulled their, whatever instrument out and just made a quick little video on the spur of the moment. I think those are great, just seeing the amateurs out there and everything. So yeah, I kind of knew who he was before he did anything else. And then I bounce all around. I love Fermi Labs, Closer to Truth. And then I float around, Guts at Gibbon and the crowd, Dapper Dino, everybody in our group, and stuff. So I float around a lot, but Apologia has got to be one of my favorites. I think watching him grow and all the work he's put in, plus all the animation he does, and doing just the minor stuff that I've learned just to do some little videos, it's a lot of work. So, even like BS is very humble about the stuff he does, but I know that's a lot of work just to throw those little videos together he does. It's not like doing this is easy. We popped on and we're talking, and yeah, you can make some decent videos that way. It's all good. But when you're doing all the editing and all the graphics and everything and stuff, you got to give those people a like and a comment and everything, because it's a lot of work. And I've grown to appreciate all the work they put in a lot more. Just, I made a 3-minute video. It took me all night to make it. So.
How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, right?
Well, my first video was, and by the way, speaking of, while we're talking about my stuff, I should be talking about my stuff. So I just got an email from Brian. Hey, good to see you, this and that. I seen your channel's grown. Good job and everything. So Brian was my first video on miracles. And I also met him through Bread's channel, and it was good to hear from him again. And he was saying, wow, that's great. Subs and views. Good job. Keep it up. And then I saw he was in the comments, looking forward to seeing the Grassman last night and everything. So it was good to hear from him again. He's been busy doing things, but it was good to hear from him again. Blast from the past. And this was just the other day. So that was kind of cool too. And I think I've come a long way. I was kind of very stone-faced and nervous and so worried about screwing something up, and of course you get on camera, and of course naturally you get some stage fright, and everything, and then you're thinking, oh man, there's a couple people watching out there. Oh crap, I better not say anything stupid, and then growing, and I like doing everything myself. So my stuff isn't fancy, but it's all mine. I do my own graphics and everything, and I learn as I go.
I think it's a matter of perspective. I mean, Gert bases his channel on saying things that are stupid. So, I mean, it just depends on what you're aiming for, really. Love
see,
you, Gert.
Yeah, and speaking of, I'll never look at caves the same again. There's Maya in the chat. Hello, Maya. Good to see you.
Hey, Maya.
Yeah, she covered a thing with the mud fossil guy, and he said all caves are stone lady parts, shall we say.
The JJs, yes.
The nether region. So I'll never look at caves the same again.
It's a literal lady cave, yes.
He was pointing out the various features of it too. The menorah and the majora and the clitora and everything.
Learned man.
He was way into that, way too into them caves.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Hey, whatever floats your boat, man. Just, if you keep it off the street, hey, I'm good, man. You knock yourself out with the caves, right?
Yeah, something.
But he's special. So what you got coming up, Mark? Well, I always enjoy your debates. If I didn't say, and sure everybody else would agree. You do a good job. You got something coming up?
Not really, no.
No.
Yeah, I'm basically working on something at the moment, like you say. So I've noticed I haven't really done much of stuff that is sort of editing and things, which it shits me off and it's annoying. But I've noticed now creative bloat. Have you ever experienced this phenomenon?
No.
Depends what you mean. That you need a break?
It's like
that you need a break?
No. It's when you start out and you have an idea, and as you're going along, you think of how it can be better and better, and it creates like a longer and longer process, sort of the more you go along, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So, like the more sort of creative you are, the more work you have to do, and so the more work you do, the more work you have to do, because you sort of envisage how it can be better as you go along, right? So what you think is, well, as I work hard, like more, the amount of work should go down less, but instead it goes up, which is it's weird. It's kind of expectations again.
It used to take me a long time just to do anything because I didn't know how to use, I used DaVinci, so I didn't know how to use anything. So every move was look at a YouTube video, do this, look at a YouTube. Well, now that I know the stuff, I can, I'm bebopping around, but then you want to get more creative and you want to, well, what's this tool do? They got, this. No, wait a minute. And then I can blend this and make it go in and out and in, and you just, so then you're just adding to it. Yep. And there's stuff in there that I'll probably never use, and that's just the free version. So if anybody's looking for, I recommend DaVinci. It's got great support on YouTube. Every question I've ever had's got a video on it. Shows you click, 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 click. And so it's if you don't know what you're doing, you need some help, you can start from zero, because I had no clue. And I watched the video, click this button, open the file, click this button, drop it down into the timeline, and you just go step by step. And now I'm also, like Mark said, I get more particular. So like I used to make rough cuts. It's like, okay, that's close enough. So sometimes somebody would be saying something and then the next little part of their next sentence is still in there, because it's like, Now I zoom in on the sound, so I bring the waveform right up and I look for that exact spot where the break is, so it doesn't pick up that little for the next sentence. So you start getting more nitpicky, try and make it a little better. And then I'm starting to run it through a sound filter, so if I had any little noises or anything, it would help clean it up. And you're, oh, what's this do? Oh, well, I better do this. Oh, wait, I better do this. So once you're learning all those buttons, you got to use them. I mean, or it's a waste, right? So, but I think it's also cool because I'm learning something new, and at my age, it's good to exercise the brain. So I think it's, good to learn some totally from scratch. And I'm working on making my own beats too, so I don't have to borrow
that's
free
fun.
music. I bought a little beat. I bought I've got the Akai mini keyboard.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, it's got all the little beat maker pads and everything, and it
I'm
comes with the
familiar.
software. I've done it a couple of times. I've laid down some boom 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 boom, and boom 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 behind it, and I'm just looking. The hard one is trying to get the little piano key sound I want. That eerie kind of.
Oh yeah.
So that's the hard one. The bass beats are easy because you can just boom boom boom. You run it through the repeat, and then you can just move it up and down if you want it higher or lower. You got your boom boom booms. But the hard part's learning, because I don't have any music talent. So I'm also I'm learning music theory from scratch, and everything. So
yeah, that's like one of the harder parts.
Yeah. So, but eventually, I'm gonna have my own little. I'm not claiming on being fancy, but it will be my own little intro beat. So,
who here remembers my original stream intro song? That do you remember that creepy thing?
I probably
made that.
But yeah,
that was my my creation. It's pretty fun.
Cool,
I made that in Ableton Live.
There's been a lot of times where I was like, "Wow, that's neat." This and that, and I made that myself or whatever. It's like, really? Oh, that's
I had the same problem. It's like, I want, or I need, music that I feel represents the tone or the content that I want to cover or use. And so I just went with that. I'm like, okay, this seems to work. I'm going to keep this, roll with this, and see if people like it. And
I want,
I
want some,
I had a stream intro.
I want some kind of eerie, kind of Twilight Zone-y, because my content is ghosts and Bigfoots and aliens.
There you go.
But I want a little boom, boom, boom behind it because I like a little boom, boom, boom. So, and I was playing around, and with the program that I got, you can drop the booms down so low they drop off of hearing them.
You could do that.
So you can put the ones in there just for feel that you can't even hear. You can only feel.
Dogs are dying.
You're right.
The neighborhood animals are going crazy.
No wonder my dog was going crazy.
Hear low pitch. Dogs don't hear high pitched.
I know. I'm just being silly. It's I as soon as it came out of my mouth, I'm like, God damn it! They hear high pitch.
I understood.
Lucky Leo's not here. Never let you get away with it.
Yeah, but the whales in Ohio are being seriously disturbed.
Oh yeah.
Infrastructure.
Actually, because SeaWorld's not really a thing, I don't think there's any more whales in Ohio. Actually,
I went to the closing end of the season thing for the Ohio one because I got free tickets, and most of a lot of the stuff was already shut down. But the wife and I went, and we were one of the last people there.
Nice.
And good to see it gone. I mean, it was in the day. It was fun, getting splashed and feeding the sardines or whatever to the seals. But the times have changed, and we've realized that's just wrong. So
I get to
let the fish go swimming.
On Wednesday nights,
the fish and the whales and the dolphins and the seals be now. They have turned it over to basically doing rescue stuff now. So hopefully they can, make right for, some of the so-called wrongs, So yeah, they're helping the ones that wash up on the beach and got bit or damaged by a boat motor or whatever, and they take them there and they're rehabbing, fixing them, and so. And a friend of mine, speaking of, was a volunteer down in Florida that did the replacement flipper on the Dolphin. Remember that?
What, prosthetic or something?
It got the tail. What do you call it? Is it the fluke or whatever's on the back of the Dolphin?
Fluke
it got bit.
Fluke is
got bit right off, so it didn't have.
Dorsal is the top one, like the one on the top.
It didn't have the flapper in the back, so they made one out of some kind of material, and they put the connection, and then it bolted on, and the sucker out there swimming around with its prosthetic. So there was always he was involved. He was just a volunteer, but he's always around. So it was taking photos all the time and everything, and it was really
the Dolphin
neat.
Insured?
I hope so. Oh, I just saw they did one for an elephant, a prosthetic for an elephant. So, and it's good because they used to put them down. If you got a bad leg, they just would put them down. There wasn't much they could do for him. But this poor guy, he lost a foot he was either chained up or had a snare or one of those tragedies, and the poor guy lost his foot. They made a prosthetic for an elephant, and that you can just see like anybody else, they're just happy just to walk around again. It's the those simple things, you know what I mean? It's just the joy in their eyes is just like a human or anybody else that gets to walk again. Heartwarming. I like watching those videos too. Some of the animal folks and everything. The ones the elephant rescue guys too. Indonesia or wherever they are over there, always running into the jungle, fixing up the elephants and everything. It's like that's a lot of hard, hot, sweaty, dangerous work. And those guys deserve, and ladies too, all deserve medals for what they do. Saving the elephants, and a lot of it is because they got injured or things because of man. So righting some wrongs is always nice to see. So what else is going on? Stephanie, you've been out sailing, you said recently? Plans to?
Tuesdays and Wednesdays, just
okay.
Continuing on the season series in 2 different classes, and we are in first place in both classes, which is good. One better than the other.
Good job.
It's I think Fleet 27, and we'll see 20, 21, 22 boats on the line on a Tuesday night. And the J24s are roughly 12 boats on the line every Wednesday night. We'll go out and do that. Got the Etchells. I don't know what that regatta is going to be. It might be an East Coast Championship in October, so that's on the program. And I don't know what other stuff we'll do. Concentrating on the local stuff right at the moment, but we might do some. We're not going to Ohio. We're not going to. We're not going to Ohio. We've got the
Great Lakes. We got the Great Lakes.
Right, 4 North Americans are in Sandusky, I believe. On Erie.
That's only about an hour away from me.
Yeah, it's coming up. Not this week, the week after, second week of August. So that'll be going on in your area. I have friends who are doing that, but we're not packing up and going. I wouldn't have the time to do it anyway, unfortunately. But
I spent my
lots of racing, and it's kind of what I do. My real job is sailmaker and sailor.
I was gonna say I've seen you sewing up the sails, so 100%. Yeah, my uncle had a boat, so we spent a lot of time on Lake Erie fishing when I was a kid. So always had a great tan.
Well, yeah, I mean, it hasn't, I've got obviously sunspots here and there. It's like go and see your dermatologist, It's like, okay.
My brother.
I wish that sunscreen had been a bigger deal back in the day. Because
my brother, may he rest in peace, he would get baked every time. He would just so burnt. He had fair skin, and all the rest of us were just inconsiderate, I guess, because my dad and I would get brown, my uncle and my cousins would get brown, and my brother's just baked lobster. And poor guy he'd be laying on his belly, and my mom would have the cold towels on his back, and he'd be all blistered. And then we'd go back out fishing and do it all over again. Eventually, he started wearing a shirt. So eventually he learned he had to keep a shirt on. But the rest of us, we were. And then when I wasn't doing that, we were living at the local community pool with the YMCA. So we were brown all the time. And this is when I was a teenager, so I had the teeny little bathing suit on and everything else too. So I was brown almost everywhere.
Everywhere.
It was only that little tiny little area that wasn't no brown.
Yeah. Well, it's been quite warm until just a couple of days ago. Big old cold front just went through, and it's more moderate now. But it's been great for going outdoors with very little on. Let's put it that way.
We've had a mild summer here. We caved and put the air conditioner in about a week ago, and it was mostly because I got an older dog and an older cat and a puppy. So my wife was like, we should probably put the air conditioner in just to make sure that the pets are good, because we can rough it, you know what I mean? And I'm out, I'll go outside and I don't, sit by the pond. So, and there's been times where my son and I were out there playing cards, sitting with our feet in the water, or the hose just running on our feet. But you can't just do that for too long, So, all right, broke down, put the air conditioner in. Well, then we turned it off yesterday. Today we're all back to the windows are all opened up and it's nice. And it was so cool last night. My son and I both slept in this morning, and he was late to work for the first time ever. First time ever he was late to work because it was just so nice and cool. We were all, you cuddle up in the blankets, and we didn't get up. We didn't get up this morning. And it's almost August. So now as a kid, we would be swimming, we would be baked, we would be fishing. My dad would have 3 air conditioners kicking in the house to keep it cool.
Yep.
There's climate change. If you haven't seen it, you're too young to have not seen it, and over the winter, I don't think we shoveled snow once. And if we did, we
had a very mild winter
once.
in Maine. Extremely mild winter in Maine. It was there. I think it was two storms where it was. There were maybe three, 4 where there was plowing, but it wasn't a big. None of it was a big deal. And usually, it's not that way. So it's kind of scary.
Well, as a kid, we built. I've got pictures where we built like igloos in the front yard and, all kind of giant, snowmen, snow bunnies, snow whatever, building snow forts, having snowball fights. It's like, I can't even get enough snow, to make a snowball anymore. So it's obvious, Well, I think it's about time to call it. Everybody's dropping off.
About that time, I'd say.
About that
been
time.
Great, and congratulations, man.
Yeah, congrats, man.
I appreciate it. And once again, I wanted to thank everybody that's watched my stuff, commented on my stuff, been on my channel, and all those that I've got penciled in to come in on my channel, because I've got probably half a dozen folks penciled down. So that's to come. And there's no pressure. This is the captive desk. I'm here. So, I know Nitty, he's got young kids and everything. And I told him, I say, you're busy, man. I was there. You know what I mean? So I appreciate him, giving some time to stop by. But
absolutely.
if I do have, I put the offers out, and like I say, there's about a half a dozen out there. We just got to work out the details. So there'll be another about a half a dozen interviews to come. And I said earlier, I'm going to read Deconverted Man's book, and I'm going to have him on to review his book, and I'm going to give him a seriously hard time about how terrible it is. And I hope to have fun, because he cracks me up. If you just need a laugh, if you need a counter apologist that's just going to make you laugh, and while he's giving you good arguments at the same time, check out some Deconverted Man. It's always worth a good chuckle. I don't think there's an episode I haven't laughed at. So, and Maya, thanks for stopping by. Like Stephanie was saying, Maya, with her show on Sunday, you never know what you're going to get, and it's always amusing. Bree, love Bree. Saturday mornings, I'm always there watching with Bree. And Bree had me on her channel to review the Boggy Creek movie. That was a lot of fun. I appreciated that she thought of me to check out the cryptid with her. That was cool. And let's see who else. Look at the trees. Again, look at the trees. Have a lot of fun. And him and I do a lot of work behind the scenes. We're talking, we're planning, we're picking our stories. We're sending notes back and forth so we know what we're going to talk about. We're looking up and we're doing our own research. So we got our questions and answers and everything. So we do a lot of work on it. And at the same time, we're keeping it fun, because we promised each other that we were going to keep it fun. We were going to stay friends. We're not going to have any issues. And if anything comes up, we're going to sit right down and resolve it right then and there. We're not going to have no problems. So all hail Bigfoot. Everything goes as planned. And in the future, we're hoping to do some fun things with the show. Maybe some giveaways and some things. Maybe a T-shirt or two to come. Some. We got some fun games we were thinking about to give away some prizes and stuff. So working all that out and everything's a lot of fun. And he's also doing a thing where he wants to make a line of his own survival type gear and whatnots. He's doing tool reviews too on his channel. So he's getting into that and everything. So he's not just doing his pastor blasters. He's spread out. He's diversifying.
That's fun.
So, and he just told me, he goes, yeah, I haven't been doing any pastor blasters. I got to do a pastor blaster. So, but but good for him. He's doing a lot of other things.
That title just cracks me up. Like
it
every
does
time
work.
I see
It's a good one. Very good one.
He's got a good little thing there. And he also is trying to grow and expand. He when he did his first pastor blaster, he's just like, hey, pastor blaster, blah, 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 blah. And now he's like made a little intro, put his little graphics on, and things improve as you go and everything. So that's always cool. And and if anybody's watching that wants to do their own stuff or whatever, just dive in, just dive in, turn your stuff on. You don't have to go live, record yourself. And I've learned, don't be so nervous, because when you're recording yourself, and if you're going along and you mess up a word, you just stop, you back up that sentence, you give a couple seconds clear spot so you can make the cut on the recording, start the sentence over again. The pressure all comes off once you start doing stuff, and you can reach out to so many people. I don't want to name everybody, but there's Geo Sam, gave me some tips on his channel. You want to go to the next level, you go like to Nerdy Rodents channel, and plenty of other folks out there telling you how to do this, that, how to use the tools, how to clip your pictures out in Photoshop and all those kind of things you want to know to do to make your video, put your graphics in. I just learned how to do a slideshow. You don't have to pay for PowerPoint or any of that stuff. Google has it free. Go to Google Drive, just click in the box over in that corner with all the dots. It'll drop down. You go to Google Drive, slideshow right in there. You can do your own like PowerPoint slideshows, all for free. Great options out there for free. All the programs I use are free. I use Audacity. I use DaVinci. I use VLC Media Player to convert files. All that stuff's all free. So if you look around, you can get good stuff with support that's free. Dive in, have some fun, make a video. I see there's a couple new channels I just started watching. Yeah, they just diving in. They're sitting down. They just turned on their camera and they started talking about what they want to talk about. And sometimes those turn out to be some of the best videos. So thanks again for everybody stopping by. Stephanie, Nitty, it's always a pleasure. I always like listening to you guys too. And to everybody in the chat. And hey, Mike did make it.
Hey,
Mike, you're still up. Amazing.
Ember showed up. Holy smokes.
He was doing a show on with Ember. So yeah, and hello, Ember.
Okay.
Yeah, Ember kept him up late tonight. We have to let Ember know next time. I schedule Mike to be on around noon. So but Mike made it. He stayed up. He was on Ember's show. I was watching. I bumped this a little later. I was going to do it earlier, but I had to watch Mike, so I bumped mine a little bit and started once they were mostly through their show there because I love watching Mike. Mike, I was talking about you earlier, and since you're over here, Mike's always been a big supporter. I love all his advice and help and love and everything, and he's had me on his channel a bunch of times, and he's been a guest on my channel a couple of times. And I always enjoy our conversations, and I love watching his stuff. And we appreciate what you do with the counter creationist arguments and everything and stuff. Just like everybody else that does it, we need your content out there. And if you sometimes feeling like, oh, why am I doing this? Because I know Mike has said it. Somebody out there probably appreciates your video very much. So that makes it all worthwhile.
Agree.
So I think we'll say goodnight. My wife probably wants to say hi to me for a few minutes.
That's what you call it now.
I've been happily married and only once for 34 years, and it really irritates some of the believers, especially many of my friends who've told me I need Jesus that are all divorced. So. But I owe her a lot because she puts up with a lot with me. So,
yep.
I don't always show it, and some days I'm a big jerk, and sometimes I say stupid things, and she's always been tolerant enough to still love me anyways. And so my advice to anybody that if you have a little argument or something, couples do that. Okay, it's not the end of the world. You don't have to run to a divorce lawyer and anything just because you had an argument. Okay, sometimes in today's world, it's like, oh, that's it. We had a disagreement. It's like, no, it's okay, and you're gonna have more of them. Okay, you're gonna have more of them. So, just little. Obviously, if you got problems, but the little things, it's everybody has it. You're gonna have them. So, give a big hug and a kiss. It'll be all right. And big hugs and kisses to everybody out there, especially Carrie, always there supporting me. Love you. And I want everybody to have a good night. And see y'all later.
Thanks for having me on, man.